Guys, what is up? Literally, what's going on out there today? Hey, it's Brent Abel here, webtennis.com, with another episode, a little bit of mindset training, maybe some tough love today. That if you're one of those players who's trying to become better, right? You want to, your levels here, how do we inch our way up to that next level? Basically, it's about not missing as often, it's missing less. Maybe that's kind of a negative. But really, it's not about improving stroke technique. It's not thinking, well, if I had a bigger forehand, or if I did this or I did that, that would make the difference. No, it's really about shot choice. Where do you want the ball to land over there? Where do you want to move to next on the court? And trusting kind of this mantra, whatever, however you pronounce it, which is, look, I'm just going to hit a high quality ball over there. That guy's good. I'm assuming it's going to come back because he's good, and whatever does come back, that's cool. We'll just take it from there. And so with that mindset, that's when you start making a lot more shots, start missing less, and start to being a really consistent shot maker, forcing that guy over there to have to kind of feel like, God dang it, that guy's not going to miss. So I got to go for it. And once they start going for it, take them out of their comfy confines in terms of what they can do on a regular basis. Now you start to get some unforced errors, and let them participate, right? Let them participate in you winning points. Part of this is training in such a way that you get so stinking bored that if you can't get bored, if you can't get through that boredom, if you can't accept that boredom, you're never gonna get to that place where you're the kind of player that rarely, if ever, misses a ball. Guys, look, before we kind of do a little bit deeper dive on this morning, I've got a suggestion for you of of how to drill, kind of a mindset way of drilling and practicing. And look, before we get there, look, in our matches, mental toughness happens between points. I'm sorry, it just does. It's a between points routine that once I got a hold of what Jim Lohr was talking about way back in the day about the 80-20 reality of playing our matches. 80% of the time when we're playing a match, on average, is spent between points and on side changes, right? Only about 20% of the time are we actually playing points. So there's a huge opportunity here for that 80% of the match to, this is what I used to do, just to be scattered mentally, right? Just let my mind wander wherever it would go. And sure enough, during the 20% of the time for the points, not a real clear focus, not really very much clarity. Once I embraced that, if you really manage the 80% of the match really well between points time and side changes, you tended to start to play at the very top of what your current skill level is over and over and over again. And once you do that, that's the confidence place right there. That's when you start to be able to move up to the next level. So look, what I've got for you is a free video. The link is right down below when we're done today. I want you to go click it and just drop in a first name, email address, and you'll get access to this free 9-minute video, which describes my 4 parts between points routine, each one of those 4 parts in detail. So, look, if you're not willing to get bored doing the things that you need to do to become a way, way more consistent shot maker, and I'm not talking about pushing, right? I'm talking about doing the boring things like, okay, well, let's hit some balls right up the middle to my practice partner for the next 10 minutes. And the only thing I'm going to think about is spacing. I'm going to get my feet so organized, so ready that all I'm going to do is make sure that my feet help me create the spatial distance away from the path of that incoming ball over and over and over again. And you might go for 10 shots in a row where you kind of nail the spacing thing and go, oh, okay, this is getting boring. I've got that. What are we going to move on to next? Keep staying bored. And once you get bored, and once you just repeat and repeat, this is all about reps, high quality reps, especially when you miss. I mean, lots of times it's one thing to go, okay, well, I've hit 10 in a row. I feel great. Now I'm going to go on to something else. It's another thing to hit 4 in a row and miss number five and go, crap, this is getting boring. I'm going to do something else. Come on, man. You've got to get bored with this stuff. That means getting on the stationary bike, which you know would really be beneficial to to building up leg strength, to doing some things that might just be stinking boring. Sitting on a bike, look, just put a TV in front of you, right? Put on the tennis channel, watch that. But you've got to get doing those things that you right now think are boring because I don't know, maybe you don't want to do the work back there on court 17. Maybe you don't want to do the work behind the scenes. Maybe you don't want to do the work inside the garage where nobody sees you, right? That's when you really overcome that sense of boredom because when you do the high quality reps, you start to trust delayed gratification. And once you trust delayed gratification, then you just embrace the whole boring thing. And that's a big deal. That's a big mindset flip right there. So am I saying this is like a light switch? Okay, well, I'll get bored today. Big deal. Well, yeah, I mean, you might start that way, but you're going to have to overcome those thoughts that you've trained forever, which is this is getting boring. Don't want to do this anymore. I want to go do something else. No, you got to build new habits of look. I always go out there and I look forward to that boredom, to that mundane, right? To that just putting in more reps on whatever's that one thing I'm thinking of right now. Look, if that means that let's bring up spacing for example. And I do this a lot. I go, okay, for the next 15 minutes, what time are we now? Okay, good. For the next 15 minutes, all I'm going to do is fill in the blank, one thing, and that's it. And I'm just going to keep doing that. Even after like 8 minutes, I go, man, this sucks. Man, I keep missing. I keep missing. This, I got to do. No, no. We've already committed to 15 minutes of doing this one thing. And what I found over the years is that kind of self-discipline, getting through, embracing the boredom, man, it's a game changer. So you may not be that kind of player, right? You may not be the kind of player that really, honest to God, wants to do the work to get to whatever is your next quote unquote next level. That's fine. That's fine. If you're not that, then just accept that reality. Don't be frustrated when you continue to miss certain balls, miss certain shots that you've been missing for the last few years. If that's your mindset, then you got to accept that reality and be cool with, well, that's where you're at. That's fine. I'm just saying that if you really are the kind of player that wants to go up here, then that's what you got to work through. You got to create new habits, and part of those habits are, all right, I got to keep working. I got to keep working on this one thing. Guys, hope this has been helpful today. Like I said at the very top, well, first of all, I want to hear from you down below in the comments area. What's on your mind from today's message? Which is getting bored and the beauty of getting bored and the self discipline required to get bored because those quality reps, wow, that's when it all really happens. So let me know what's on your mind from that today down below in the comments area. Any questions, feedback, comments, remarks? Let me know. I love to read your stuff, and eventually I can get to it and respond to you. And yeah, as I said in the top, if you've not yet picked up my free 9-minute video, which describes the BPR reality, the between points reality, the 80-20 reality, you got to get this video. You got to do it, man. It's mental toughness happens between points. That's when you really build clarity for how you want to start the next point. And when you do that, when you manage the 80% of the match really well, on average, between points and on side changes, man, great stuff happens during the 20% of the match, which is actually playing points. Right down below, guys, there's a link. I want you to click it, put in a first name, email address, get signed up, and you'll get immediate access to that 9-minute free video. Guys, that is it for me today. Hope this has been helpful. As always, I think it's time. We got to get out there, got to help someone else have a great day. Guys, I will see you again next time.